Well, Ashley, you've now had time to reflect on the events over the weekend, the departure of Danny Wilson and Chris Morgan. Why was that decision taken?
Well, it was on the following on from the performances over December. We saw some very heavy defeats, and it kind of then starts to bring it to the forefront of your thoughts in terms of what do we do going forward into January. We look at our position in the league table as well, and it's not a healthy position. But as well as that, we also look at what's above us in the 5th, 6th, 7th from the bottom, and we look and we think, do you know what, we're actually still there within touching distance of these. So what do we do?
And what is the process now?
Well, obviously we did take the decision to terminate the employment of both Danny and Chris, which was a difficult decision still to make. And I'd like to place on record as well thanks to both of them for they're so professional as well as a pair. So I can't thank them enough for what they did for the club, but we have to now move on. So obviously the news gets out, it's on Sky TV, it's on everywhere else. So following on from that, we don't have to advertise the fact that we're looking for a manager. We're now getting many people putting their name into the ring for consideration. So at this point we now have to start collating all that together, and within the next 24 hours we'll kind of formulate a list of, in effect, a hit list.
And what's high on the list of requirements for a new manager from your point of view?
From my point of view, I need to get back into this football club enthusiasm. I need to lift the whole tone of the football club. I want somebody who's enthusiastic. Ideally, I'm looking for somebody who's maybe younger, who's got some experience, but long time in management is not essential to us. We're looking for somebody that is, we've had one or two people come forward and say, look, I'm quite happy to help you out until the end of the season. That's not really for us. We've got to be looking forward. We've got a massive job to do next season in terms of team building, 19 players out of contract. So we need somebody who's going to be committed and who's going to be working through that with us as well.
No hiding from the fact that it's a stiff challenge for somebody coming in at this time to keep the club up, and as you say, a major overhaul at the end of the season as well.
It is, and obviously the finances are constrained. We make no secret to the fact that we haven't got a lot of money. The likelihood is that we will be cutting the budget back as well next season. So we have to try and still sell this football club to somebody to come in and help us through all of that. But it's a great club. You see what's out there. It's a great stadium. And there are people out there that are hungry, and that I'm sure that we will be able to have somebody that will come in here and do a job for us.
What sort of timescale would you put on an appointment?
Well, we're in the transfer window now, so the clock is ticking, and we need to get somebody into the club that can actually do some wheeling and dealing within this transfer window. We need somebody to come in who has done the homework on the players. They know who we've got, they know our strengths and weaknesses in the side, and can basically hit the ground running.
So how much room to manoeuvre will a new manager have in the transfer market if players are moved out of the club?
If players move out of the club, then we'll obviously immediately will have the saving of their wages, and that will then be put forward for the new manager to be able to use to bring players in.
Now, you've talked as well recently about other changes at the club. I understand you can tell us about a change amongst the senior management.
Yeah, well, we've had a board meeting today, and we've obviously talked about the vacant position, and we've also talked about the job going forward in terms of the player recruitment for next year and everything. And it has been decided from today that Chris Turner will move, his role will now become Director of Football, and that's a really important role for the club. And I think at this moment in time, Chris is the perfect person to move into that role, work with the new management team coming in, and go out and identify players as well, go and watch them, be feedback for the new coaching team. So Chris is going to take over that role.
And what effect will that have on the day-to-day management of the club?
Well, at the moment we've still got a lot of plates spinning in the air, so there's going to be some fine-tuning done internally. I'm not saying at this stage that we're going to be immediately looking to bring in a new chief executive or anything like that. But we need to look at it. I need to speak to the management team internally as well. We need to, as I say, we need to fine tune this. But this was only kind of decided 45 minutes ago. So as I say, we've still got a few things to do yet. But that is the way that the club is going to be going forward from today.
And how's the position with regard to the long-term future of the club? Dave Allen continuing to finance the club, but any movement in terms of ownership?
No, we've had one or two people that have made some inquiries. Some of them I don't even really know if they're credible or not. But we will deal with every one of them in professional manner. But at this moment in time, there is nobody coming with proof of funds. There's nobody that's brought enough money to the table that would start any negotiations at all with the owner. So from that point of view, we have an impasse at this moment in time. All I'm bothered about is focusing on this season. We've got to stay in this league. That is, if we drop out of this league into League Two, straight away we've lost £1 million. We can't afford to do that.
And in the meantime, until a new manager is appointed, Richie Humphries takes charge of the side, assisted by Matt Duke. So somebody with a great deal of respect in the game taking charge on a temporary basis.
Yeah, it's great that Richie has agreed to step forward and take over that responsibility. He certainly, we know he's not going to be fazed by it at all. Matt will be there as well to assist him. So it's great that we have got the expertise and the experience in the football club, and hopefully he'll take charge. Well, he will take charge and lead the team out tomorrow night to a victory down at Luton.